Welcome to Gavels Down, Voices Up, where we flip the script on conventional legal discussions. I'm Rachel King, here to guide you through the murky waters of family law, estate conflicts, inheritance disputes, all of the dramas. We're not just talking about law, we're talking about how it affects your life, your rights, your future, and your money. From the courtroom to your living room, we bring you insights that matter. Dive into each episode ready to challenge, learn, and grow. Ready to change the dialogue? Let's begin. Gavels down, voices up. Do you like roller coasters? I can tell you as a kid, I loved them. As an adult, not so much. Every time I get on a roller coaster, I end up with some huge headache that cripples me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what end is up. So I avoid roller coasters. Divorce? It feels an awful lot like a roller coaster. You are up and down. You probably have the headache of all headaches. And that's totally normal. One day you're hating the person, can't wait to never see them again and be completely done. The next moment you're totally in love, wanting to wrap yourself up in the memories. And then you've got everything in between. You want to screw them, you don't want to screw them. You want it to be over, you want to drag it out. You want to fight for everything, you just want to walk away. All of the feelings, that's what makes it a roller coaster. And every single person that I've ever represented through their divorce goes through all of it. In fact, I had a client once who was in an abusive relationship, who was completely taken advantage of, everything that you can possibly imagine, including getting granted permanent domestic violence restraining orders and having the spouse also get prosecuted criminally. And we were sitting in my office and the conversation came up, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want this. Oh my gosh, am I making a mistake? So yeah, even if you know that it's the right thing to do and you're with the most horrible person, which let's face it, when you're contemplating divorce, you're not totally in love anymore, it can still be really, really hard. You're going to have the ups and downs, but chances are at the end, you're going to be in a better place than you are right now. Just a moment for a quick break. Are you struggling with the legal and emotional tolls of divorce? Let me, Rachel King, help guide you. Head over to gettingdivorcednowwhat.com/free chapter for your copy of the first chapter of my new book, Getting Divorced Now What. Learn tips to navigate your divorce in the most successful way possible. The full book is coming out January 15th and you can pre-order yours now. Now let's get back to the show. There are absolutely emotional stages of divorce. Tons of them. And in fact, I tell clients if they're contemplating divorce, they need to get a therapist, they need to talk to a lawyer, and they need to have their support system. Why? So that you can start creating your own toolbox of tools to understand the process of divorce, what is going to happen, and the emotional stages of the divorce process, which include grief. I know it blows my mind. And most of the people that I tell this when they're sitting in my office don't totally understand it. How can you not want to stay married to your spouse? And in some cases, absolutely hate your spouse. It was over, maybe you never met them, and yet you have to grieve their loss. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if your spouse dies, but now you're divorcing them and you have to grieve. Why? Well, I've sat down with quite a few therapists on this topic, and the consensus seems to be that not only are you grieving the dream, because let's face it, when you get married, you create a dream of a lifestyle, and so that is dying when you file for divorce, but also this person, whether they have been a horrible, horrible spouse to you for the entire time, or you've had good times or bad or whatever, they're a major part of your life. And now they're gone. And so you have to learn how to live and recreate your life with this major void. So grief is probably the most difficult stage of divorce that people fight. But if you can get through the grief process of divorce along with all of the other stages, then you're going to be better off at the end than you were at the beginning and through the entire roller coaster. If you have your team of people, your therapist, your attorney, and your support group, then you are going to have all of the resources to help you as you're doing all of the twists, turns, ups, downs, and upside downs of the divorce process. I've had people say, well, when you feel like you don't know why you're getting divorced or you want to take them back, just think about all of the things you hate. Sure, maybe that helps you in the moment, and maybe in the moment is all you need. But long term, I don't know if that's the way to do it. I think instead you want to give yourself space to grieve the loss, navigate the process, and figure out what your next step looks like. Understanding that the grass is not always greener and that there's going to be significant changes after the divorce. It could be positive. Maybe it's everything you always wanted. Maybe it's everything you never knew you always wanted. But understanding what it's going to look like and allowing yourself to feel is the most important part of navigating your divorce roller coaster so that when you get off, you can find your footing. Did you know that research shows that actually a divorce is the second highest stressor or most difficult life experience that a person will ever have? Number one is the death of a spouse or a child, but absent that, it's divorce. Crazy. It's no wonder that people lose their mind through the process. Also, totally reasonable that you're having second thoughts, fears, all of it through the process, and that it's a roller coaster because it is the most stressful, or okay, maybe the second most stressful thing you're ever going to navigate. And when you get through it, you're going to be able to look back and be like, damn, that sucked, but I survived. If you're navigating divorce or thinking about it, or you're just not sure, I've got a great book for you. It's called Getting Divorced Now What. You can head over to gettingdivorcednowwhat.com to get your free chapter, insights, strategies, and tips. You can buy your copy, you can pre-purchase the full edition that is being released January 15th. Because my book, yeah, we go into deep discussions on this topic in there. Should you go or should you stay? And what are things that you should know or be aware of? What does it look like? What can you prepare for? How can you prepare? All of it and more in Getting Divorced Now What? That wraps up another episode of Gavels Down, Voices Up. If you found value in our discussion today, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs these insights. Your engagement helps us grow and impact more lives. I'm Rachel King, thanking you for listening and reminding you to speak up because every voice deserves to be heard.